Today I'm going to be looking at a Target exclusive set of 6-inch Black Series figures by Hasbro. This is the Poe Dameron and First Order Riot Control Stormtrooper set. It costs $39.99, although I will mention that Target is running a promotion right now where if you text a certain number you can get $10 off of $50 or even $25 off of a $100 purchase, so you can bring the price down a little bit that way. There are signs up in the store, or at least there were in my store, with the information about that. Here we have the portraits of the two characters. I believe this is the first of the Black Series, certainly the first of the Force Awakens figures to come in a 2-pack. I can't recall if there's been any at all up until now. We have on the side no number, just like with the Toys R Us exclusive Snowtrooper officer that I reviewed recently. And on the back we have some blurbs about the characters. For Poe Dameron it says, "An ace pilot, Poe Dameron is a leader in the Resistance's fight against the evil First Order. He soars into battle behind the controls of a modern X-Wing fighter." And if that sounds familiar to you, it's because it's exactly the same blurb that they used on his individual figure. For the First Order Riot Control Stormtrooper, it says, "Armed with specialized weapons, the First Order's Riot Control Stormtroopers are trained to subdue crowds in the most ruthlessly efficient manner possible." So, let's go ahead and break this open and see what we have here. I'd like to look at the First Order Riot Control Stormtrooper first. At first glance, it's identical to the regular release of the First Order Stormtrooper, and I think the body itself is identical. It comes, however, with a couple of new accessories. It comes with the pistol on its leg and the blaster that the regular version comes with, but it also comes with this shield and this baton. I'm not entirely sure which way this is supposed to go, maybe that way. It doesn't fit in his hand as well as the blaster does. It seems to kind of want to fall out sometimes. See, it's a little loose there. It's not a big deal, but it can be a little annoying occasionally. Now the shield is kind of an interesting case because when I got this out of the package, yeah, it was pretty much like this. These bands are not removable, and I don't think, unless you maybe take off the hand or, gee, I don't know how you would do it actually, remove something, you would not be able to get this thing off, I don't think. But this does slide a little bit. I was hoping at first that it would slide forward so he could hold onto this part with his hand and have that one be around his forearm so that he could hold it a little closer, a little, you know, straight out in front of him. But that does not seem to want to work because it does not want to go over this armor piece. But you can slide it this way a little bit, and that makes this elbow joint freer and more easy to turn like this, to bend. It's still difficult to get it right in front of him. It's more likely that you're going to have him sort of at an angle like that, holding it at an angle. There goes the pistol. Alright. Anyway, it's a nice looking shield. Now, of course, in the real world, riot control police officers and so forth use shields and batons and things like that, so maybe this is unrelated, but I can't help but think of the Ralph McQuarrie artwork of the original Stormtroopers, where they were portrayed as having, well, laser swords, I suppose they would have called them, lightsabers, and shields, way back when they were first planning the original trilogy. In fact, they made a figure of this a while back. You can see this is a Stormtrooper with the laser sword and shield, and even the design of the helmet is a little bit reminiscent of this one, so it's an interesting thing to think about. We can compare it to the original release here. Basically, it seems identical. I don't know, it might feel slightly different, slightly looser perhaps, this one, but it might just be the variation between, you know, two different batches or whatever. I don't think there's not a lot of difference between these. This one actually, the exclusive one, actually has better paint, which is a little bit unusual. Mine on here on the helmet has a little bit of overspray, and this one looks very clean. So, you know, another Stormtrooper to add to the ranks is always welcome, so this is definitely one I can recommend, I think, as long as you're okay with the shield being permanently stuck on there. So the real question is, I guess, do you want the Poe figure? So let's take a look at him. And here we have the Poe Dameron figure. As you can see, he's in a, well, I guess it's the Resistance outfit. It's very similar to the one that we saw Finn wear in his figure. In fact, let me bring him out. It is, however, not the same, actually. I had assumed that they were sort of just reusing this part for the exclusive figure, as they often do reuse parts for these kind of things. But no, first of all, it's a different color. But beyond that, if you look closely at the details on the jackets, you can see they're actually different. This has got some sort of straps here that are not here. This part is different. It's clearly meant to be the same jacket, the same style of jacket, that is, but it is not the same, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's not just a lazy, you know, head swap or something like that. No, these are brand new. He's got a different gun as well. They're very similar in design. They look like they're from the same world, or maybe even the same manufacturer. They have a similar end there, and just sort of general design cues are the same, but they're not the same. This one has a stock and is a different color. So now, if you have seen the new trailer, you may have noticed that Poe appears in this outfit in the trailer very briefly. If you look in the scene where he is being tortured, I guess, by Kylo Ren, he's actually wearing this outfit. So that's cool. I didn't know until that trailer came out where exactly this outfit was going to appear. So we know at least in one apparently pivotal scene he's wearing this outfit, so it's kind of a big deal. Presumably he's going to be in the X-Wing pilot outfit more often, because that's what they chose for his main figure, but it's nice to have this one too. Speaking of the X-Wing pilot figure, here it is. Now, if you compare the two of them, they look rather different in the face. These are not actually the same sculpt. I thought at first that they were the same sculpt, just looking at pictures, and that they were painted differently. Now, they are painted differently, but they are also not the same sculpt. They're very similar sculpts. But if you look, for example, on his left eye, on our right, it's different. This has more of a prominent eyelid that makes him look a little sleepy, and it's not on this one. Personally, I think this one, the X-Wing pilot one, looks a bit more like Oscar Isaac. This one, not quite so much. But this one is more attractive as a figure, if that makes sense. They are painted differently, as I said. This has a more of a reddish-brown almost color. This is a dark brown to being almost black color. And certainly the eyes are painted better, I would say, on this one. Better in the sense that he doesn't look so sleepy, I guess. They both have a bit of a stubble look going on. It's a bit less pronounced on this one, although I will say I picked out the one that looked the best, the paint that looked the best out of about 6 of these. Some of them had heavier stubble. Some of them had little marks on the face where it looked bad. It looks like he had a beauty mark or something on his face. I would really recommend that if you are going to buy this figure, this set, to look at him in person, because there was quite a variation in paint. Other than that, I'd say as a figure I prefer this one, actually, the exclusive. But they're both pretty good. If you're interested in buying the set, especially for the new look, the alternate outfit for Poe. I'd say it's a reasonable thing to do. It's a good figure, and of course the Stormtrooper is well, it's no different really than what we've already had, so you're safe getting that. It's a pretty good deal. It's actually, you know, it's the price of 2 figures, but it's an exclusive, so at least they're not charging extra like some places might. One more thing I forgot to mention is the helmet. They're the same sculpt here, I guess. The white paint extends farther down on this one. I don't know if that's intentional. I do prefer this look, I think, actually. I'm not sure why he has 2 helmets. I guess he wears both of these sometime in the course of the film. I don't know why he has this one with his Resistance outfit, or if it, you know, maybe this one doesn't necessarily go with this outfit so much as they just decided to include it. They both fit on there okay. It looks a little dumb depending on the angle you're looking at, but yeah, it's not too bad. I prefer it without the helmets, I think. Maybe using the helmet more as an accessory that he can hold or something. In conclusion, I would say this is a pretty solid set. And, you know, it being an exclusive and all, we might actually find this one being a bit more sought after than some of the other ones. What did you think of that trailer, huh? I mean, that was pretty awesome. I thought I was almost tearing up during that central part when the music comes up and the Falcon is flying through all that aerial combat and everything. It was pretty awesome. Do you guys have your tickets reserved already? I already have. I'm going to be going at 7 p.m. on the 17th. I'm glad it's not a midnight showing because my son wouldn't be able to come with me. But yeah, I'm really starting to get psyched for the movie. It looks fantastic, to be honest with you. Basically everything we had hoped the prequels would be. But of course we've been disappointed before, so you know, cautiously optimistic, I guess. Thanks for watching.